shots at 11.
All right, and welcome everybody to this wonderful day here in Monmouth, Oregon at the intramural field at Western Oregon University. Today we have the matchup of the Oregon State Beavers against the Western Oregon Wolves. Now, Mike, you and I have both played for the Wolves. We both played against Oregon State. How would you describe this game, what this means to these guys out here?
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Gonzalez. I am an alumni, and definitely this is going to definitely be a good game. OSU and Western always competing at its fullest. Today is just a friendly, but trust, I do not believe we're going to be seeing too much of friendly play today. They're going to be a little brutal out here, but that is just a game of rugby. And it's a beautiful day out here, Tim. It's wonderful. It's light breeze. It doesn't seem like we got any rain coming down. I think we're going to be seeing a really good game today, a good 15s match.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited for this. The battle in 99, as it's always been told.
Yes, it is. And this is our first commentary going out today. So for those that are listening, we're going to do a lot of tutorials just to kind of explain the game of rugby if you're new. So be patient with us as we share, for those non-rugby knowers, some rules and tips just for the future as we continue to be announcing these games for the future.
Yep, and looks like it's going to be OSU kicking off to Western to start this game out.
Yeah, and just to give everybody a heads up, this kickoff now, it is a drop kick, and it's got to go, it's 10 meters, which is that dotted line there. And it's a free ball. It's definitely a free ball, and it's anybody's ball.
Just like the onside rules in the NFL, if the ball crosses that 10-meter line, the kicking team can retrieve that ball.
Even if the ball does not reach that 10-meter line, the opponents, which it would be, or Western, can pick up the ball prior to it hitting that 10-meter mark, so they can pick up that ball and run if they would like.
Ryan out there just kind of going over some last-second rules before we kick off.
Yeah, Tim, and that's one thing to definitely mention about rugby. This sir is the one who focuses on this game and makes sure this game is played correctly. The respect element to the sir is definitely at a high level.
And here's the kick. It's going to go back to Braden. He's going to take it over. He's going to go down. Scrum half Geo is going to come back and pitch it over to Keegan, who's going to pile into the line. God, I love watching him run. He is just an absolute bowling ball out there. Geo again is going to pass it out to Anu on the back line. Going to take it up a little ways and go down. Bernard coming in for the ruck. And then Geo's back. Pass it over to Taylor.
Taylor is our grad student.
Great counter ruck by Oregon State there, but not enough to get it. And it looks like there's going to be a knock on there on the Wolves.
All right, just for everybody to know, a knock on is when the offense touches the ball and loses it forward. The ball goes forward. So whether they tap it forward with any part of their hand, the ball goes forward, that is a knock on, and the opposing team will get the ball.
Now, the nice thing about the scrum is if you have a great tight pack and you do lose the ball on a knock on like this, if your forward pack's good enough, you can get the ball right back. But definitely. Oregon State's going to take it, go towards the corner. Geo with a great tackle. Going to take him down. Doesn't look like they're going to go for a counter ruck here.
You can push him out now. Now, this is definitely a tactic that Western wants to do with this sideline, is definitely push them out.
Yes, unlike football, the sideline is not your friend. They're going to take it out wide, go down.
Oh, ball is out.
Ball's out. It's going to go to their number 3. He's going to hit a wall, go down. They're just playing a really quick pick-and-go game right now.
Yes, it is.
Good move by their number 12. He's going to go down again. Scrum half coming in to dish it out. He's going to go to their number 5, who anticipates the hit. Goes down. And they're going to pitch it back out again. Missed tackle there. He's going to go down. Is this going to be a knock-on? Yes, it is. I thought I saw a little bobble there by Anu, and it was a great idea there to try to go out and intercept that pass, but it doesn't work every time.
Yeah, and you did mention, Tim, how they kind of are moving a little quicker, and I think that's just shaking off the little of the nerves.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of move quick towards the beginning before you really set in. This OSU team is definitely starting their season. This is a little, I think, web kind of scrubber off kind of game.
Shaking off the cobwebs.
Yeah, shaking off. There you go, shaking off the cobwebs and getting ready, because I believe they're pretty good in their rankings in their division.
Yeah.
Also.
So for Oregon State, their pool, they are in, I think I heard 3rd right now. And if they win their next 2 games, they will leapfrog into 2nd place. And for them to go to the playoffs, they have to be 2nd in their pool. So this game does not count towards that. The 2 games we are referring to will be U of O and University of Washington. So this is definitely an important game for them as well, even though this is a friendly to kind of shake off those cobwebs from winter break and get going.
There's no other better opponent right now, I think, for OSU
to
get ready to go into their season.
Great tackle there. Western Oregon almost stealing the ball away. They're going to go over. Good tackle by Brian Gates. They're going to push him forward and then backwards. He's going to pitch it over. They've been spending a lot of time in Western Oregon's half. He's going to pitch it again. Try to get out to the wing. He's going to take it, tackled by Trevor.
Yeah, running into Trevor's like running into a brick wall to tell you the truth.
It is. He's going to get hit. Try to go through.
They're trying to rip the ball right now. They're really trying to get a turnover.
Levy really trying to get that turnover, but Oregon State sees the offload and tries to get it out to the left, but Spike with a great tackle there.
Swallows them up.
And they're reversing back to the right. Number 3 is going to take it, dish it out. He's going to go down. Oh, he's not down yet.
Trevor, there you go. Trevor trying to
the ball's
put that
out.
ball out. It's free.
Levy gets it.
There you go.
And it's a knock-on advantage for Western Oregon. Gio's going to take it to Brian, who gets right about to the same spot.
Now we definitely want to see what Western can do on their offense.
Oh, Spike with a great run there. It's going to go out to the side. It's going to go to Drew on the wing and see what he can do here.
Nice cut. Now hopefully he could stay in.
Looks like he will. Braden in for the ruck. Anu's going to pass it out to Bernard and then to Taylor.
Nice.
A drive through. And it looks like the Sir called advantage off. So he's going to Anu over to Spike. Dish it out. Oh, intercepted. Oh. Offside penalty on the Beavers. So offside, just like in football, you have a line of scrimmage. But the thing with rugby is the line of scrimmage is not where the ball is placed. It is the farthest forward foot in the ruck. And then when I was talking about advantage on, off, think of it like a delayed penalty.
Yeah, the only way I can kind of describe that is soccer, in that sense of having the advantage. And again, the ref is the one calling the play of these games, so no players are contesting or questioning the calls of the Sir.
And it's going to be a line out for Western Oregon. I was watching them practice right before, and it looks like the hooker, the number 2 position, Brian Gates, was getting his throws down pretty well. Let's see what they do here.
Brian Gates has definitely worked on his throw-ins and has definitely
a great throw there. You can see the work. It's going to go to Levy. Dish it out to Keegan, and he is gone.
He should be gone. This is amazing.
Going right under the post. Is he going to get caught?
No, he won't. He will not.
And that's down for the try. Wow, what a run there. I mean, that Keegan just knows how to grab the ball and just run downhill.
Exactly. You see these big guys do these little couple meter runs, and you think it's not doing anything, but as it progresses, it can slip by. And some of these big boys do. If you can just see, got some wheels on them. They can definitely run.
And it's just like the run game in football. You're just crushing down the defense, trying to wear them out, because the more tired they are, the more likely they are to make that mistake to get you that gap to make that run.
Definitely. And just for all that are listening, the try is a score. You must put the ball down, place it down with pressure in the past the goal line, and it is worth 5 points. And what we are doing now and witnessing is a conversion. And what's so amazing about these conversions is these kickers are actually playing on the field and are not coming from the sidelines. They're actually been playing on the field. And as the games go on, these kickers do get a little exhausted throughout the game. So definitely see some skill within the kicking game.
And Braden, who's kicking right now, he's been kicking all season, and he has done a very good job. Little off to the right on that one. It's kind of hard, though, being a left-footed kicker to kick from the right side of the field.
Yeah. But you know what I like about this, Tim, is that when you score, you get the ball back, Tim. You definitely get the ball back.
You get the ball back.
You can pile on these points over and over again.
But one thing I have seen, though, is Braden likes to kick from a tee. The issue with that is this spring when Western Oregon transitions into sevens rugby, you're not allowed to kick from the tee at all.
Oh.
So you have to really get that drop kicking motion down, and it's I've been practicing it. It's hard. It's hard getting that timing down. He's going to take it over, dish it out to Rylan. Bobbles it, but it goes backwards, so that is okay. Goes to Drew.
There you go.
It's going to go out. Scrummy in. Anna's going to take it. Dash it out to Keegan again. He's going to get another couple of yards. Man.
He is strong, isn't he?
That's like trying to tackle a bowling ball out there. Gio dishes it out to Thomas.
Yeah, it's good to see Thomas back out here.
I know. I was missing him this fall.
Yeah, he is a live person.
It's going to go back to the back line. Over to Trevor.
It's always beautiful to see Trevor run. It is amazing how he gets low and uses that stiff arm. It's just amazing how he uses that. He is that big bad wolf.
And he gets quite a bit of distance there. But it looks like
we got a knock on.
Maybe not. He's looks like it's going to be a penalty for us. Offsides on Oregon State. That's another instance of that playing the advantage. And one thing I've noticed about Ryan is he likes to play long advantages, which is definitely beneficial to the team that the penalty has been taken on. Anna's going to kick it. And it stays in. And Oregon State's going to come up with the ball. So what he was trying to do there was he was trying to kick it out of bounds. And where it goes out of bounds, we get a line out, as you saw earlier when Brian was throwing in the ball. But if it doesn't go out of bounds, Oregon State can play it like they did there, where they gained 20 meters.
Tim, I'm going to correct you on that out of bounds call. It's actually the in touch is actually the correct word to use in rugby. It's an in touch area, and it's not familiar to most people. Oh, we got a good run going on here
by Oregon State's number 10. And he's going to dive into the try zone. And that is number 10, Wyatt Dillman, on the try for that one, tying this game up.
That was definitely needed, Tim, for this OSU team if they were going to.
Yeah, that was a big play right there.
And I definitely got to say, I as long as I've been a part of Western, playing for Western, and seen them play, and I know it's premature, but their second half, I'm just excited to see their second half, because usually in their games they do come out and shine in that second half. So it's good to see them score first. And
you can never count this team out. I mean, the last time we played Oregon State this year, we came out with 17 guys. We finished with 13 men on the field on our side, and held off a barrage from Oregon State for the last 5 minutes of the game, 13 on 15.
Yes.
And that it doesn't sound that difficult, but when you've got a lot of fast guys on your back line, it's using that two-man advantage, using that overload can be deadly.
Definitely, definitely. And I'm not going to toot my own horn here, Tim, but my first try was against OSU, and it was a good try. So again, this is OSU is definitely a good, solid team, you know. So to go score against them was really, really, really a good time for me.
Yep. So that'll be 5-7. 5 for Western Oregon, 7 for Oregon State. So Western Oregon down by 2.
And like I said, Tim, they're going to get this ball back. So we're going to definitely see what they can do to
See
keep
what they
this
do.
momentum up. Yeah.
See what they can do off the kickoff. Yeah, that's one thing I really like about 15s is you get the ball back on the kickoff and you can just keep that momentum going and really just bury a team if you can keep that momentum up.
Yeah, and that has all to do with stamina. That all has to do with your conditioning. This is not a simple conditioning sport here. This is one of the most excruciating demand for fitness when it comes to prepping for games for rugby.
Definitely.
A lot of these guys are definitely got gas in the tank.
That's going to go out. So it goes straight out, so it'll be Oregon State's choice on what happens. Let's see what they choose here. So they can go for a re-kick or they can scrum center. So a scrum center is when they just scrum down at the center line. And it looks like they're going to go for the scrum center. Which, I mean, that's a good move. If your forward pack is doing really well in the scrum and dominating the other side, I mean, choose scrum every time. And honestly, the scrum is my favorite part of the game. I love being part of the forward pack.
What number do you play, Tim?
I was a lock, so number 4 or 5, so I was in the second row.
Okay. I played the 3 spot. I was a prop, so it gets a little exhausting, Tim.
It does.
But definitely reveals the character throughout the game.
And here they're going to go down at the center line. Oregon State holding on to that ball.
They're lining up pretty quick, too.
Yeah.
Let's see what they get.
But, you know, it looks like Western Oregon's doing really good on what they were trying to do, talking about at practice yesterday, talking about really being aggressive on defense, pushing that line up. Oregon State's going to dish it out. And going to go to the sideline. Does he get through the line? He does, but he doesn't get far enough away to get another.
There you go.
Whoa,
What
what a counter rock.
That is beautiful. I love to see a lot of that. That is definitely legal, and you can definitely break through that line.
Golly, that was incredible. Did you see who that was? I couldn't necessarily see who blew off that counter rock, but yeah, that's completely legal. As long as you keep your footing, you can knock over the people on that ruck and get the ball back.
Yeah, and that's the gate, and that's what's called the gate. You can't come on through the sides or anything like that, but you got to go through
Here's
that
a kick
gate.
by Trevor. Now, this is the only way you can propel the ball forward is by a kick. It's going to go backwards by Drew, so that's going to stay in play. Braden's going to pick it up.
And just to give a heads up, you cannot hit a player while he's in the air, but as soon as he lands, you're more than welcome to just lay him down.
Mm-hmm. Now, what Drew did there, which I thought was really a smart move, is he went up, and instead of going for the hit, he just swatted the ball backwards.
Yeah, all players have the right to the ball. All players do, as long as they're not going in to try to make contact.
And that's going to be Oregon State ball. Oregon State picked it up off the ruck. And Oregon State got called for holding on to the ball. So that's another thing is when you get tackled in rugby, you have to set the ball down, and you let it go.
The defender must roll away. The defender has to let go of the tackle and roll away. So the quicker the tackler can pop up, the better.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, but the runner, the offense, the forward with the ball or back with the ball has to set the ball down.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And what Western Oregon was called for there was holding on to the ball.
See what they're going to call him for. I believe he was crawling towards the ground. He can't be on the floor.
No, it was a knock on.
Yeah.
So that'll be Oregon State scrum. You know, Oregon State's been dominating the scrum today. I wonder what Coach James Sadler for the Western Oregon Wolves is going to have to say to his forwards during halftime. So So here we go for the scrum.
This is definitely exhausting here. I'm telling
It
you,
is.
Tim. This is definitely an exhausting place to be. Now they're resetting, I believe, because the sir definitely wants everybody to be safe, set up correctly, so that no one gets injured down there.
Yeah, because the scrum is honestly, it's probably the most dangerous set piece in this entire game. So making sure that the forwards are set up, the first row and second row are
Good
set
tackle
up
by
right.
Anu. That's a great tackle there. And he continues. See how he pops up. He's got to tackle, then pop up. And then he'll counter ruck. See? That is
And it's going to
very
be
aggressive.
a Western Oregon ball.
That is nice. That's very aggressive from Anu. That's some good rugby there.
Trevor's going to take the ball off the restart. Tap it, hand it over to B. He's going to take it through. Ooh.
Ooh.
That
That is a call from the Surrey. Didn't see anything wrong with that tackle. Definitely that was Bernard Barber, known as B, senior, just graduating.
and he's going to call that one. He's going to call that a knockout. I'm surprised he didn't call that tackle on Bernard, because that looked like a dangerous tackle. His waist was above horizontal.
I tell you, Tim, it's the discretion of the sir.
It is.
And no one, and it shows that both teams will not question and continue to play. You got to continue to play until you hear that whistle. You definitely
Exactly.
Because the minute you let up or you let go of that throttle, they're gonna run right past you.
Here's the ball in. Or number 10, Dillman's going to kick it again.
That's a nice kick. Oh,
But
good catch.
Braden's going to get that ball. Hand it out to Drew. Bobbles it.
Need some support.
Goes over
there.
to Anu. Drew's going to go in there for the ruck with Braden.
Good counter ruck.
And that's going to be a Western Oregon penalty for the defender, like you were talking about earlier, not rolling away.
Yep. During the ruck, there is a lot of physical activity happening in that during that time.
Looks like Trevor's going to start off the restart. Going to kick it. Is that going to go out? It does.
That is
Wow,
a
and a
good kick.
great kick all the way down to the 22-meter line. So to kind of explain the lines out here for everyone who may not know, so you have your goal line, and then the next solid line coming from it is the 22-meter line. That is 22 meters away from the goal line. Then you have the center line, and then there are two dotted lines going across the field, and those are your 10-meter lines. And that means those are 10 meters away from the center line.
The half, yes. And definitely, I want to bring up the 5 and 15 meters that are going from goal line to goal line. That these men are standing in between. They got to throw this ball in between those lines there to get this line out.
And the line out was intercepted by Oregon State.
He's running.
Hey, wow, that's a great run. He is very fast. Caught by Gio.
Oh, that was a good
A
pass.
great pass over to their number 13. I think he's going to get in for the try on this one, right underneath the posts. Now, the reason you go underneath the posts is because wherever you set that ball down is going to be where the kicker kicks from, and that was number 13, Dane McKinney on that one. With that try, it was a great offload from the number 10 the number 12 over to Dane, and he just takes it right in, right underneath the posts. So what do you think Sean's talking to him out there underneath the posts, kind of going over from that one?
The only thing that I can think of is just making your tackles. Commit to the tackle and make your tackles. Hold on. Your team would come out and support you and help you finish up the tackle. But all I can say is, and think that the coach would be saying over there is just to make your tackles, trust one another. It's early in the game. There's a lot more to play, and this is a good Western team. They don't really get down on themselves too much, so I don't see them staying down too much. If anything, I could hopefully see them coming back and scoring.
Yeah, and it's
and then it gets to a point where it starts to become, who's got the better tank, that gas tank, because you've seen these runs and both of these long runs. These are some really good sprints across 100 meters now, and these men here have to play 80 minutes of that.
Yeah.
So definitely by the next half, and even towards the ending of this half, fatigue should be setting in for those who are not ready.
And with that conversion made, it's 14-5 Oregon State. Taylor with a great kick, pinning him back with a knock-on.
That is great field position right there.
Yeah. And that just goes to show one little mistake can be extremely harmful, just like that one there, that knock-on. I've been in that position many times. It's very hard to track that ball in the air. And it'll be a Western Oregon scrum.
Yeah, we got Keegan, Brian, and Thomas front three there. Hopefully they give a good push.
And then you've got Spike and Taylor in the second row, really anchoring down that forward pack. Looks like we got some shifting going on here. Looks like Levy's been taken out of the game. And in comes...
They're getting pushed really. He was able to get it
Drew
out.
Drew gets the ball out. Goes over to Gio.
He's got a chance there. If they can push, if they can maul.
If they can maul through it, I think...
There he goes. He just needs to go down and push that ball down. But remember, it's got to touch the ground.
It has to touch the ground, and I think he's just behind. I think that was Keegan on that second try in. And that's Drew. Drew goes in for the try.
Maybe that talk from Coach Sean was a little inspirational, huh?
But yeah, Marco Galindo has come in for Levy. And on that one, they were already setting up for the scrum, so Marco couldn't go in, and Drew was already on the field, so he had to go in for the flanker on that one.
I think they really need to take their time when it comes to that, these conversions now.
Yeah.
They might come back and...
yeah, this might come back to haunt them. I mean, that's two missed conversions.
Now, I just want to mention, Tim, on the possibility of scoring during play. You can do a drop kick and while play is going on between those uprights and score. And this another heads up, Tim, just how they OSU just hurried to the line to kick off. Now, in rugby, you don't have to wait for the opponents to set up. You can hurry up and come up to the line and kick and take advantage of that.
As long as the maul is called.
There you go. Maul is called. He's down. He should let go.
Yep, that was a great maul by both teams there. But Coach Sean calling out, trying to get everyone set up.
Oh, the ball is good still. What?
That was a knock on it. Did come forward. Yep, just as Ryan was pointing there, Ryland did bring the ball forward with him, and it hit off his leg, so that will still be considered a knock-on. Levy coming in for, let's see who he takes off. He's going to come back in for Marco. Now, usually in rugby, there are a set amount of subs or substitution players, and once you are subbed out, you're done for the game. But this being a friendly match, Western Oregon and OSU agreed to have rolling subs, which is more like football, hockey, and other sports like that where you can just sub in and out at any point as long as there's a stoppage in play. Here comes the scrum. Great push by Western Oregon. But they collapsed the scrum. Oregon State, their scrum half's going to take it himself and go down. And that's going to be Western Oregon's ball for holding on to the ball.
That's a tap and go there. He doesn't have to wait again.
Nope.
And again, the OSU has to get back 5 meters.
10.
10 meters.
10 meters, yep. They have to get back 10 meters before they can pursue. And if they don't, then that's where where they tackle him. That's where the new spot is, and they have to get 10 meters back from that. That's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Western Oregon's ball. Or no, so he did call that dangerous tackle I was talking about earlier right there. So that's where the new spot will be, because his waist did go above horizontal, and we might see a card here. Because usually...
Well, I believe this is how it goes, Tim, and this is what I love about rugby.
Mm-hmm.
No one talks to the sir but the captain, and the sir is the referee. So all listeners know, the sir only talks to the captain. Other players refer to their captain to talk to the sir.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is rugby. There is total respect for the sir. No one makes comments or complaints to the sir. If anyone needs to talk or make any kind of adjustments for the game, the captain will talk to the sir.
And I think he did get a warning there, not a card, because that was the second tackle like that was made. So I'm thinking the next one will be a card. And the card system in rugby kind of works like soccer, except for yellow just being a warning. No, yellow, you go sit in the sin bin for, I think it's 10 minutes, if I remember correctly.
I had me a visit there once before.
I surprisingly have not. And then a red card, you're done for the game.
Definitely.
And 2 yellows will result in a red card. So,
yeah, and you may not think being down a player hurts, but it really does.
it really, really does. So,
and I gotta say, Tim, this ref is definitely one of the most active refs that I have seen. Usually see running around, being active into, very verbal too. He's very verbal and loud.
Yeah, it's really nice, because last year was my first year playing rugby, and one of my first games, Ryan was the sir, and he was yelling at me.
That's a great tackle there.
Wonderful tackle by Trevor, but yeah, he was yelling at us all game long, and not in like an angry way, of just like trying to let us know, because it's chaotic out there, so you kind of have to yell for anybody to hear you. And the sirs in this game, they're very self-aware of where rugby is at, and they know that they are not only a sir, but they're also teaching the new guys how to play. And he's out.
The big man did have a good run, but he didn't throw the ball, keep the ball in play.
Yep, Gio threw him out of bounds, or into touch, and it will be a Western Oregon line out.
What I love about this, Tim, is that these big guys, they run.
Oh, yeah.
These big guys run, so these are big tanks that are running straight downhill. So I love to see games like this.
Oh, yeah. Great throw by Brian. It's going to come out. Levy bobbles it. But they called a play on because it went backwards. Keegan's going to pick it up. Pass it over to Anu. Anu's going to take it.
They're going the right way now, and Anu's definitely got a gap. Great pass!
Oh, and Drew just can't hold on to it. Slips right through his fingertips. And it looks like, so what Oregon State was trying to do there was hurry it up through, because you don't always have to set up the set line-out procedure every time you have a line-out. You can just quick go with it. However, it cannot touch another player, the sir, or anything around. So seeing that both Drew and Braden touched the ball out of bounds, they were not allowed to just touch and go. So they're going to set this up.
Now, this throw's got to be straight now. Just to let viewers at home know, this throw-in has to be straight, be available to both teams.
Jack almost coming up with the interception there.
Oh, nice still fight.
And Levy coming out with the
Jenkins.
ball. What a strip. But it's going to be a knock-on Bernard. But that was a great play by Levy to set him up.
And just to let all viewers know that these knock-ons, these are the worst things that any player wants to be doing. So when you see knock-ons and things, definitely the player is definitely talking to himself.
Yeah,
about catching that ball.
It's tough. And especially days like this where like the moisture level is pretty high. Even though it's not raining, the moisture level is still fairly high. That ball's going to get wet, and the scrums and the rucks get sweat all over it, and it's hard to hold on. It's a very interesting shape. It's not exactly shaped like a football.
There's no one back there, Tim. There's no one back there.
Nope. Bernard's got one on. He's going to give it over to Drew. Drew's
Nice.
Great run there. Gio's going to dish it out to Braden. Braden's going to take it up. Fake the pass. And a good ruck there by the forwards, supporting him. Levy's going to take it. He's just going to battle all the way almost to the center line. Gio's going to take it, hand it over to Spike.
Oh, I would not want to be in front of Spike.
Oh, man, that guy's just a freight train. And that's one thing I've noticed about Western Oregon is we rely on our big boys a lot. We rely on our forwards a lot. We rely on each other, but we definitely have a forward-heavy game.
Oh, it's a nice run.
Drew, take it. Oh, when he goes out of bounds. Oregon State going to get the ball here. So part of the reason why Western Oregon plays a forward-heavy game is because you draw in with that crash play. You draw that defense in, creating an overload for your backs, and then you just zip it out to the wing on the far side, like Drew over here. I mean, he's gone.
Yeah, as being a forward, I loved getting the ball and I loved running into contact.
Oh, yeah. Just running downhill into contact. Great tackle by Keegan and Jack there. It's going to go back over. Oregon State's going to take it up. Advantage Oregon State. It's going to come out. Going to dish it. Great kick. Is that going to stay in, though? It is. So it's going to come back. And a high tackle. So in rugby, the high tackle line is your armpits. You have to tackle below the armpits. If you go above in something like a seatbelt tackle style, that is a penalty that you can get carded for.
I think it depends on the severity also, like how it looked or how dangerous it could have been. You definitely don't lead with your head. You don't definitely hit the head. And as my experience has been playing rugby, I would say most injuries come from turf. I feel. Yeah. It's this turf or the ground. But yeah, the style of tackling is just amazing. Get some good, clean tackles.
He's gonna take it over to Trevor.
Oh, you never really see much of that.
It'll be a knock-on. But, yeah, you're right. You don't really see that a lot. And, I mean, I've seen a lot of high tackles being called, but not a lot being carded.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's just a back 10. Now, if it's happening every other play, every 2 or 3 plays, or someone's getting hurt from it, then they're going to start carding. But I've seen 1, maybe 2 in my time playing. We're going to go for a scrum here for Oregon State off of that knock-on.
Yeah, that knock-on was from Trevor, and again, I rarely see. That's a rare sight to see.
It's going to come out to number 10. I don't know what. Okay, Oregon State did come up with that ball. I saw the ball come out and 3 guys just hit all together. I had no idea where it went. It's going to go to their number 1. Advantage for offsides, I heard. It was an interesting little offload there. Man, great tackles by the Wolves right now. You know, that's one thing I've noticed most of this game is both sides even. Their tackling has been superb. a couple of mistakes here and there, but that'll happen even at any level.
Yes, yes. What I enjoy about seeing Western, though, it definitely is a small school.
That's going to be a tap and go.
And we definitely see some good hitters coming from this top.
Oh, for sure. You know the sport that they come from mostly, the guys that are really good tacklers?
They're wrestlers.
Wrestlers, yeah.
They're wrestlers, yeah. So if you're a Western Oregon student and you're a wrestler and you want to get out and play some rugby,
you want to get out and just hit someone.
Yeah. Because you know them wrestlers just love that contact.
Oh, and here goes a great goal line stand here. They're keeping him out. Let's see if they can.
They're trying to poach. They're trying to get that ball. It popped off.
Touch it down.
Popped off. It's maybe a knock-on.
Let's see what he calls here. He called time off.
Yeah, they're gonna talk it over with this line judge.
I think. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. From what I saw from our angle, it might be a try, or it could be a knock-on. For me, it's a 50-50 right now. But the AR or the line assistant and the head judge, the sir, will talk this over. Sadly, we don't have our TMO ref here today. Replay ref. So we'll see what they call. They're going to call on the captains from both teams, and let's see what happens.
And that's Trevor, a team captain. He had 3 years. I believe he's a junior and criminal justice major. Real leader of the team. Definitely
For sure.
Big leader of the team. I was able to play with him for a 2 years. And amazing competitor. His work ethic is just phenomenal. He loves to get out there. He loves to lead the team. He loves to do all these things. Great leader. Really great to have been able to play and share the field with.
So it looks like it's going to be a penalty on the Wolves, but I don't know what the call was. So when a penalty happens on the goal line, the attacking team will be put on that 5-meter line, which will be that T at the end of the 15 and 5-meter lines that are going vertically across the field instead of horizontal. And the defending team is on the goal line, and they push him out. That'll be a Western Oregon ball. What great line defense. Goal line stand there.
Yes, they needed that right now.
Mm-hmm.
We got about a little over 3 minutes left in this half. And again, this is the sir actually holds true time. So I definitely want to share that with viewers. They're seeing 3:33, but we just definitely want to give the viewers a heads up that the sir does hold true time.
So it looks like it will be a line out for the Wolves here, and I did see Ryan call time off when he went to talk with his AR over there to kind of confer the call, and looks like they agree.
All right, we're going to see Brian Gates. I'm enjoying seeing Brian Gates throw this ball now. He's really picked up his game.
It was going to be intercepted.
It was a good throw, but just reached in there.
Mm-hmm. And another thing about rugby is once that clock hits 0, that doesn't mean the half is over. They could play for another 5-10 minutes after it hits 0. It goes until the play stops.
Yeah, the play has to come to a dead play, and then that's when it would be over.
So I don't know what the call is here. Let's see what happens.
Like I mentioned to him, this sir is definitely one of the active sir. He definitely wants a good game played.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely out there making sure we're all having fun, and he's making the right calls. I like how he's using his ARs.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing is I think he understands that his AR on the far side over there, he's actually looking in to come to Western Oregon. So he's still in high school. So I think part of what Ryan is doing here is even being a teacher for his AR, who's an up-and-coming ref. He has reffed a couple of our games, and, I mean, he's done a superb job. Like, both our games that I don't remember his name, and I kind of feel bad for it, but He's done a great job in both games.
Jordan. I believe his name
Is it Jordan?
Yes.
That sounds right. Jordan's done a great job reffing our games, and we appreciate him coming out and doing that. And looks like Western Oregon lost that scrum. It's going to come out to their number 10, and Trevor with a knock.
Yes, and he doesn't let up. As you see, he does not let up.
No. He's going to come back. A great hit again by Brian and Anu. Anu gets the ball out.
He's got space.
Down.
Nice pass, but it
goes over Drew's head.
Western definitely needs to capitalize on these.
Yeah,
these
they need to
moments.
fix up their
They
passing.
definitely have had their moments.
But yeah, I mean, and it's just those little mistakes here and there. If they clean those up, I mean, they could be up 2 or 3 tries at this point. And I think that's something that Sean's going to go over during the halftime. So their backline's got it. Oregon State number 12, bolting down the field. And he's not going to be stopped. He's in for a try. And that is number 12. Clint Pfeiffer. Great try by Pfeiffer there. And that'll be 19-10. And I think that might be the play that ends the half.
It may be. It may be. Like I mentioned, Tim, it's up to the sir, right?
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I mean, that was it's been a great first half so far. Just a couple mistakes here and there by both teams that have been capitalized on, and that's the difference.
This conversion should be relatively easy.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful view, isn't that?
And that's good.
Such a beautiful view out here.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, practicing out here on this field is it's a very nice field at night.
It's not too difficult.
Nice. Yeah.
But, yeah, so that'll be the end of the first half with Oregon State up 21-10 over Western Oregon. So, with that, we have a player that we would both like to highlight.
Definitely. We definitely had a player, an alumni, played here played rugby, and also a coach. He was also a coach in the fall for us, an assistant coach. His name is Dominic Aquina. He's down playing in Texas, I believe now, in the MLR. Would definitely like to give a big shout out to Dom. We're all rooting for you, brother. You know, we are Western Oregon rugby family, and we wish the best to him. And yeah, just a big shout out to Dom. We are supporting you all the way, brother. We are supporting you.
Yep. And in their last preseason game, I didn't see the full-time score, but I saw the halftime score. It was 21-0 with Dom scoring 2 of those tries.
Yeah, so, I can't wait till it's televised. I really can't wait till these games are televised. And it's been blowing up. I'm really glad to know that rugby has been blowing up as much as it has. Just the style of the game of being this gentleman and playing this game respectfully, but playing it hard also. So it's definitely, rugby is definitely a game that is asking you to be brutally aggressive, but at the same time to hold yourself as a gentleman, hold yourself as a player. And I love the whole rugby family and vibe. It's a great feeling.
All right, so we're gonna take a break here. We are gonna come back right before halftime, and we will see you then.
Do you want us back on?
Until then, the score is 21-10, Oregon State.
You guys just broadcast on campus? Oh, live stream. Okay. Yeah. Well, I said stand over on the side.
Ryan, are you okay? You're shaking a lot. I can give you my bag.
I'm fine.
Okay. You getting it?
That's all I can do. It doesn't really change. It went from like 6,100 to like 900K, and then went back to 6,000. It's the best I can do.
Back on head. Back on. On head. Are you wanting the eyepiece still on it, or do you want it like this? My eye just starts to hurt. Here, do it.
Personality-wise, probably. Oh, really? He's 5. He's a Yorkie, Shih Tzu Maltese.
Well, you were right. They're winning.
All right, welcome everybody back to the second half of today's game between the Western Oregon Wolves and the Oregon State Beavers. That first half was pretty crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was really good. I'm excited to see this next half.
Replay here of Keegan's great run to start the game off, just sticking with it even through the tackle and placing that ball down.
I believe this is his first year.
It is.
It's his first year, so those watching, That was its first. This is its first year of actually playing rugby.
Not his first
Is
year
it
playing rugby,
but here,
playing for here, yeah.
Playing here. And now, if I could, Tim, I definitely would like to share just a little bit about my story here playing rugby, my experience. I was a non-traditional student that came to Western and found a home here with the Wolves here playing rugby, and I enjoyed it. My first coach here was also Coach John, but he was also our head coach was Coach Ko and Coach Tani, and they definitely set a good foundation for me to understand rugby and the game of rugby and the culture of rugby, and I just fell in love with it ever since then. And I only had about 2 years of experience of playing rugby, but I was hooked. I was definitely hooked.
I mean, when I came here, it was new student week. I was just kind of walking around, and I was checking out Valset's, the dining hall here, and then I hear this big guy go, "Hey, you, get over here!" And I'm like, "All right, who'd I piss off already? You know, like who'd I make mad already?" I look over and it's Sean. He's like, "You should play rugby," and I'm like, "All right, cool, I'll try it. I've never played it before. I've never even played football." He's like, "Don't matter. Just grab some cleats, come out and have some fun." I'm like, "Sounds awesome." And now look at us.
Definitely. Love for the game. This definitely got love for this game.
All right, here we go. Taylor with the kickoff.
Taylor's definitely got a good foot.
Cannon for a leg. It's going to go to the Oregon
gonna
State number
take it.
12. He's going to try to break through that line. Gets through quite a bit. Gets almost back to the 10-meter line. That was a great run. Pitches it over.
There's a big man running.
There's a big man. Levy with the attempt of a counter ruck, but I think he was looking at who he was paired up against and thought against it. It's going to be a knock-on against Oregon State here.
But they're going to give the advantage.
It's going to give the advantage. It got ripped out from Taylor's hands to
goes
Spike,
Spike.
and Spike just...
He's carrying about 2 OSU players.
He's going to go over to Trevor. He's going to pitch it out to B.
Ooh, with some good
with a
moves.
little fancy feet there.
Come on, we need some support on the push.
And then Trevor's going to get back, go down. Great ruck there. Gio's going to pick it up. And back to Bernard. He's going to take it down. Thomas there. Over to Taylor. You know, it's very interesting because usually it's holding on to the ball on Western Oregon. But like I was saying earlier, usually it's Trevor as our scrum half and Gio with the backs, but Sean's switching it up this term. Trying to see how that works, and honestly, I think it's working very well. I think Gio has been able to be that position player that he needs to be to play that scrum half position. And the scrum half in rugby is a lot like a quarterback in football.
We got the 9 again running.
The scrum half is running with it. Can they get there in time? No, they can't. That will be a try for Oregon State. That was interesting. I saw them all crash in there, and like we said earlier, the ball has to touch down. Thought one of the Wolves got there in time to keep it up off the floor.
Looks like we got
a player down back here. That's Spike Ripley.
It's definitely something we don't want to see.
No. Trainer's going out to see him, see what's up.
This should be, again, another relatively easy conversion.
Also, to be a trainer in this game, you have to have nerves of steel because you got to run out there during the play, work on a guy, and then run off the field during play. The play doesn't stop for the trainer unless it's a serious injury.
Definitely. The play does still run until that surge does halt. And I think just as right now, the surge just noticed.
Yep. Looks like
I definitely got to mention this, Tim. Again, this culture of rugby, and as you see, OSU out there definitely supporting a Western player, and this is rugby. This is rugby life right there. That is it, and it's a given. It's nothing that's extra. This is what day in, day out. This is how that play. This is how play happens, and this is how it's demonstrated.
It's as the old adage goes: soccer is a gentleman's sport played by hooligans, and rugby is a hooligan sport played by gentlemen.
There you go.
And you know, it's just, and like we said, it's a friendly rivalry. And, I mean, I feel rugby is a sport where, you understand nothing's personal.
No.
It's
You want to play the good. You want to play the team that is good. And your team is good. So you get that respect. Just like in any kind of match, fight, any wrestling match, things like that, you have to have that respect for your opponent. And it comes because OSU is definitely a good, solid team. They've always had a good, solid team. Western has definitely had a good, solid team. Our numbers have always been short, but it's a small school. We have definitely a small school, but definitely some nails out there that are made of definitely steel.
Here's the kick by Braden. Start us back up again. A very interesting little grubber-like kick, trying to, almost like a squib kick in football, trying to produce a bounce to get a mistake.
Oh, it's up there, hanging up there.
That was a long, high pass.
They got the edge.
And they're going to... Oh, he's very close to the sideline there. Let's see, can he get him out? No. They're going to get it back towards the center. Good play there by Oregon State. One thing I have seen Western Oregon is not doing is counter-rucking, and I think Sean was saying before the game that you have to really, really, really be cautious about your counter-rucks because we don't have a lot of subs.
Yeah, Tim, got to say, I'm no longer playing, and that was my bread and butter was to counter-ruck. I loved counter-rucking. That was the best physical activity there. It's like you are counter-rucking, you are literally blowing up that person who was covering, and you find a respect for that person who was covering because they are taking blows.
Yep. Hands in the ruck, and looks like a player down for Oregon State. Hope he's all right. He's getting back up though, so I mean, looks like he's not too beat up.
Like I always said, Tim, I don't know really any rugby player that is.
That's
totally
a good ball.
happy.
Way to go, Levy, on that one. But that was a great play to set that up by Keegan, trying to throw that guy out of bounds, and it worked pretty well because he set up that mistake that led to Levy getting the ball. Trevor with a great run here.
He's got a great stiff arm. He's going to push it.
He's got help too with
if he stretches it. Sir trying to get it right, and he does.
Looks like it'll be line out for Western Oregon.
So what do you think about the cut on Gates there? That's a nice mohawk he's got going on there. Huh?
Yeah, I was the one who did it. I'm just hanging out at his house. He's like, hey, Tim, come here. I'm like, what? He's like, cut my hair. I'm like, I guess. What am I going to say? No. So, yeah, thanks for noticing my handiwork. Oh, and another interception. But what's the call here?
He reached too far.
Did he?
This sir is a great sir. He explains it. He lets these players know.
I want to get a microphone on him. Just so we can hear what he's saying. But yeah, it looks like from body language, it looks like Oregon State leaned over a little too far to grab that ball.
I believe there's that lane that it needs to go that both players have access to. Ooh, nice pass.
Good offload to Levy. Ooh, my. Bounces a guy off him.
Way to run.
Advantage to Western Oregon. I think that's going to be an offsides. Yes. Yeah. Let's see what Drew can do on the outside. Over to Marco.
Loses the ball,
but we're going to get it back. Yeah. They were just a bit offsides.
And the good thing to do is when there is a penalty like that, and there is that advantage, sometimes you got to try to capitalize. Maybe give a long kick, do something like that. Because if you do lose possession, they're gonna call it back, and you're gonna get that ball back. So
Now the issue with a long kick though is it is up to the serve's discretion, but you can kick advantage away.
oh,
So, like earlier in the game, I was kind of surprised Ryan didn't call kicking advantage away on both Western and Oregon State. But again, that is the serve's discretion on whether he's going to do that and to what degree he's going to do that too. So, let's look for what Trevor's going to do
This is
here.
usually the time, Tim, that I used when I was a player to get my breath. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, man, to catch my breath and get ready again. Because, you know, you don't know when's the next time you're going to get a stop and play.
Yeah, especially as a forward. It's going to go to Levy. Back to Trevor. Fires it out to B.
B takes his step. He's got a nice
Couple of
step.
steps. I mean, he just has some fancy footwork, and I love watching him run. You know, it's always great to watch the forwards just crush through people like Taylor is right now. But it's also fun to watch the backs kind of just use their fancy footwork and juke some people out. Trevor breaking through here.
Yeah, you got to get low on Trevor, and there's no way to really get low. Oh, he
Ball
loses
stripped
it.
out, but it's going to be a penalty. What is the call going to be, though? He's calling the captain over. Oh, he's getting a yellow
He
card.
must have been going too high.
High tackle, yep. It's a seatbelt tackle. It'll be yellow card, so he's off for 10 minutes. And then, I mean,
See if Western can take advantage of
See
this.
if Western can
That's a
capitalize.
big boy there, and let's see if they can take advantage of this.
now see, before coming to rugby, I played hockey. And we had the same penalty system, except for it was 2 minutes, not 10. And I'm kind of surprised, but as I've played more rugby, I've realized why. But I was surprised that there's no set pieces to play when you're up 14 on 15.
Yeah.
Or 15 on 14. Here's the take by Taylor.
He's a senior. I mean, it'd be nice to have him score.
Gio shoving people off the top of the ruck.
That's all legal there. That's all
Yep.
definitely legal.
It's down. Let's see what the call is. Time off. Looks like the sir is going to confer with his ARs to see what the time is. Or not the time, excuse me, if there was a try or not. And we didn't really have a good advantage on that to see it. It was very interesting where the ball could have gone down. Just in a pile of bodies, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, that was Taylor running. He's our grad student. He just graduated last year. I believe he's a liberal studies major.
It was a pick and go by someone else off of the ruck that Taylor had formed. But yeah, I'm not sure. That's another one where I didn't really get a good look at it. It could be 50-50 whether it's a try or being held up. Ryan's calling the captains over. Let's see what the call is.
I have my extra left. Am I live?
So like I said, Tim, this sir never really is gonna
Nate, you need to jump.
address both teams. They're gonna address the captains, and the captains are gonna relate this to the teams.
Well, it looks like Western. It is a try.
Maybe to try. It was pressed down.
It was pressed down.
And you just got to apply pressure. Apply the ball down on after the end zone, and that's all you have to do is apply. And you may have missed the drop kick. It was relatively close. And if you see Western running back to set up, it's because
Oregon State
is definitely gonna try to
catch him off guard here. And it is 28-15 with 30 minutes left. I mean, that's a very, very manageable margin. Look, that's gonna. So number 22, that is a player from Oregon State that Oregon State has loaned to Western Oregon. I mean, we're just out of guys who are healthy. We have 2 on the sideline that are battling injuries right now. So Oregon State coming with enough players, being generous enough to loan us a player, so we didn't have to forfeit the game.
Well, it's a friendly. It's definitely a friendly.
And they just want to play as much as we do. So.
And we have just to give viewers a heads up, we do have our season going on in the fall term.
Yep.
And that's where we play our major games that are really important and must wins.
And in the spring as well for sevens rugby.
Yeah. Yes, that's coming up in spring.
Hopefully I'll be healthy enough for that one. Here comes Brian for the throw-in the line out.
At this angle, we really definitely get a good look at that cut.
Yeah.
You're going to see this throw, and again, I'm going to stress this out because I seen Brian Gates come out, and these throws that he's coming out with, you know, OSU got that ball, but his throws are just coming in a whole lot better than before.
There's the pitch out. Fires it down the line.
Oh.
Bobbled, but it did go backwards, so play on. That was knock on. Came off the fingertips forward.
Well, we definitely need to see a good
good push from
the Wolves.
From the pack here. So let's see if they can. It's been the same forward pack all game long, and they've been giving it their all game long. It looks like there's been a change in positioning here. Levy will be transferring in for Hook, and Brian, I think he's going out to 8-man.
I think Levi's good position there at hooker. I played next to Levi, and I have seen him do some amazing scrapes. He has definitely pulled that ball and sent it back lovely quite a few times, and that's where I've seen him flourish there at that hooker position.
So yeah, I think that's definitely where he fits, and Brian definitely likes to play the 8-man as well, so I don't think he's going to be complaining too much.
He's got the wheels for it. He's got a good run. We get a good view, a good angle here at the throw-in, and like I said, that was a good pull by Levy.
Gio's going to dish it out to the back line.
It's a good pass. Way to look for his teammate.
And good rock by Braden here.
They still got a lift.
Great pick by Trev.
Something here.
He's going to go down. He's going to go to Drew. Pitches it to Braden. Braden takes it up. Offloads to Bernard with a good stutter step there. My.
Brings it in, takes the ball in to keep it safe from going out.
He's going to dish it out. Go to Keegan.
Nice.
Going to take it over to Levy. Levy's going to take it up. Just run through everyone. Gio's going to take it out to Ryland. Good step by Ryland.
He was pretty quick. He's our non-traditional student, showing a lot of potential out here. He came out this year.
And then Keegan just running through everyone. But Oregon State gets the ball back. Levy trying to get the ball back from Oregon State. And a great tackle. That was number 22.
And that's the OSU player.
That's the OSU player. Sadly, I don't have his name on hand. And they're shifting over left. They heard that call from Braden.
Some pretty good defense. They're lining up pretty well.
And Braden has really taken this fullback, number 15 role very well. The fullback for how we play our game, the fullback is like the captain of the defense of the backs, and he's sitting back waiting for a kick and kind of making sure there's no offload. But here goes Trevor right off the quick start, taking it up.
He's got to move that
Gio
ball.
picking the ball.
He needs some support there.
He needs some support, yes. Ryland there
Now
to
they can
support
ball
him.
if they can stay up. Nope.
Keegan picking up the ball and just going for their ankles, just staying low. It'll be
Western's ball.
Western's ball.
He shouldn't have to went for the ball.
No, and I think Trevor's going to get in for the try on this one. Can he get in? And that's a try. And like I said, that's a comfortable margin to come back from, and we're down a try.
Trevor Kahunahana there. I see a lot of potential
for
Trevor,
sure.
and I'd definitely love to see him on a main stage playing this game. I would definitely love to see that. He's got an amazing stiff arm, gets low, good tackling technique, and that's all. Again, we harmed on the whole wrestling, and his background is with wrestling, and he's like I mentioned earlier, I believe he's a junior, a criminal justice major here at WOU, really representing.
And he's just a great leader as well. I mean, he is the team captain, and I think he earned that role well. We vote for our team captains on this team, and Trevor won. And I think that is a great choice for a leader on this team.
Yeah, I doubt there was any objection to that.
Nope. And Braden puts this one through.
Yeah, that's the Braden I'm used to seeing there.
And it is now 22-28.
This is still a game, Tim. This is still a game.
It is a one-score game. And like I said, Western Oregon has heart.
Oh, that's definitely something this team does have.
You can't count the Wolves out till the final whistle blows. Now Oregon State coming up slow, trying to eat up a little bit of time here.
There's not too much time to eat up at. Maybe fatigue setting in. We don't know. In this game, you really don't know.
And that's one thing about rugby is if you play it smart, you can just eat up the clock really fast.
Yeah, you can keep the offensive ball the whole game if you're that good.
Here's our new player, Marco, taking it up. Interesting pass, trying to get it to B, but I think it was forward.
It may have.
Yep.
Yes, it was forward. Marco just recently came out too. I believe he's a freshman. Microbiology, I think his major is.
And I mean, he had a great idea of there trying to get it over to Bernard, but I think nerves set in a little bit maybe, and just put a little too much oomph on that pass, and it goes forward.
You mentioned the game as being a friendly, and we as Western should be taking advantage of it too. Also with their new players coming in, we do definitely have freshmen that are getting a good feel of the game, of the sport. And like I mentioned, if there is any Western Oregon student interested in playing some rugby and have not called it quits on their athletic career and interested, they're definitely more than welcome to stop by the campus recreational center and get some
For
information.
sure. Oregon State trying to punch one in here. They're getting pretty close. Let's see how Western Oregon does on this goal line stand. Trevor trying with the counter ruck there.
Yeah, I can just imagine it's not comfortable getting ran into by Trevor.
No, I can say from experience, no, it's not. I mean, most of the guys on this team, it is not fun to get hit by them.
Ball is loose.
Ball's loose. Picked back up by Oregon State. Ball's loose again. Let's see what happens here. Pushing him back. Levy with a great tackle. Bernard finishing it, along with the Oregon State player that they have loaned to us. And that's going to go forward. It'll be a knock. Western Oregon kind of getting lucky there with that knock. I mean, it was wasn't looking good for Western holding them off. They were starting to make a couple more mistakes here and there and opening up the defense. But getting this knock really helped.
And I can't stress that knock-ons are definitely something that's not wanted. Or
It's
something you definitely don't want to do and don't enjoy doing.
No. Yeah, you kick yourself after every knock-on. Another good defensive stop by the Wolves. Oh, it looks like Thomas is down. Come over. Great tackle by Jack.
Way not to let him go. They should counter.
They should counter that one with Jack being there.
Okay, they may take a time for this injury.
Yeah, because he's not getting up. That's a scary one.
Yeah, I don't think we don't have too many players to be subbing in at this moment.
No, I mean, I joked earlier about having to trade a headset in for a jersey. I might actually have to do that.
We definitely want Thomas to jump up and just shake this off.
Mm-hmm.
You always hate seeing this.
Oh, yeah, that's ankle or knee. That's not good. Well, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Because this was his first game back this season. He took fall term off, as we were saying, and in his first game back, getting injured's not a good look. I really hope it's nothing serious.
How about I try to come out to practice, Tim, and just run around with the fellas? And it's been a little while since I've been out there, Tim. And I can definitely tell you that I was huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
And it was just practice, a little running around. So if you're not stuck in your program or your routine, keeping up that stamina, it definitely come to haunt you.
It definitely does. So during the stoppage here, we're going to have some players rotate around and try to figure it out. Try to keep 15 on 15. All right. The sir calls time on. So we're going to start up here. There'll be a penalty for Oregon State. It'll be a scrum.
It won't go any higher for me.
Is mine good?
They're going to all pile in here for the scrum. This is a very interesting part of the game, like we've been saying earlier. And here we go. Here's the ball placed in. And the scrum collapsed. Ryan's going to call that off. Because anytime the scrum collapses, that's when a lot of injuries can happen. So the sir will stop the scrum. And he's calling both coaches over. This is something I've never seen before. This is interesting. He might call the scrums a no contest, which means yes, everybody does lock in, but there's no pushing back and forth, and there's no way for the team that committed the penalty to get the ball back. Whereas in a normal scrum, they can get the ball back by hooking it with their foot, hence the position name hooker, and push over the ball to get the ball back. And I just heard now Ryan say that scrums are not contested, so I think that's a good idea, especially for this game with how many players have already been injured and with this multiple scrums collapsing, that we're going to go to non-contested scrums for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's a friendly, and again, you mentioned sevens coming up for our springtime, and no one wants to do too much.
Mm-hmm. And you know, like, usually I'm against that call, but I think in this case it's a good call.
And it's only during the scrums. It's just no push. You can still pull for the ball. It's just no large push.
Here, Oregon State comes off the scrum. They're going to shift it back over to the left here. Levy coming up, putting the body on him. Putting the body on him again, 2 in a row. Ryland coming up. I think that play by Levy there just sparked something in the Western Oregon defense, and they are just coming up, attacking like animals right now.
Oh, nice.
Whoa, what a clear by Keegan.
That is what I like to see there.
My, oh my. But that's going to be a knock-on for Oregon State. Oh, man, that was a great ruck clear by Keegan.
Yeah, it's definitely a great counter. I would have definitely loved to play with Keegan there. These throws are coming out not too great.
Yeah,
now.
they're.
Oh, wait, he ran into Keegan, and he didn't really get much.
He didn't like it either.
Yes. Oh, that's a dangerous pass.
Oh, almost getting stripped there. And Bernard with a great tackle.
They're a little too high, I would say. They need to get down to like that waist rib level to really stop that forward motion from these OSU players.
I completely agree. Ryland with another great tackle there, with Levy in there to help out. God, their defense right now is incredible. They're just coming up, hitting hard. This is the rugby to watch right here, folks.
It's that second half, Tim. I'm telling you.
The
blood is flowing. Everything's set in.
So time's off. Looks like the penalty is going to go for the Wolves. I don't know the hand gesture for that call. I might go talk to Ryan after the game and learn that for next time.
Definitely missed that. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that was just a great defense there by the Wolves. And it's one of those when you're attacking hard, it's just like.
It's contagious, Tim. I think it's contagious.
It 100% is. When you see one of your buddies go and just clock someone, you want to go to the next person with the ball and clock that person. And it's just like Coach James Sadler was saying yesterday during practice is if you can get on Oregon State fast and you can get on them hard, they're going to start coughing up the ball and they're going to make mistakes, which is going to lead to you getting the ball back, which we saw right here. They coughed the ball up because they just couldn't handle the defensive onslaught from the Wolves. Great
nice
kick by Trevor here.
Let's see if he can get the edge. If he gets that edge or taken out, he needs to get pushed out.
Oh, Bernard's down. Hurt his hand, I think. And Ryland with a great tackle. And then Brian right after with another great tackle.
They really need to move up at his line and get these tackles. I would definitely love to see a turnover coming up sometime soon.
And Bernard down on the sideline. That's not good.
OSU is definitely showing some good depth in their lining. And number 9 again seems to be possibly making.
Brian taking him down.
Oh, didn't quite score. He didn't make the try.
Brian with that try-saving tackle, but they're going to get the try after all.
And I think that was number 10 there for OSU.
Which would be Wyatt Dillman.
That's the second one today, I believe.
It'll be 33-22.
It's slipping away a little bit.
It just a little bit, but
There's a lot of time. There's a lot of time
a
left.
lot of time left.
Now I'm hoping B can go ahead and that means Bernard can go ahead and shake that little injury off and get back in and play.
It looked like it was his hand he was holding there, so
Hopefully it's nothing serious.
hopefully it's nothing serious. And it 35-22 with just under 14 minutes left to play. And now, even though it's a 2-score game, I mean, the possession in rugby can change so fast.
Oh yeah.
That's plenty of time. Let's see if
I believe I've seen 2 tries in my experience of playing within 3 minutes. Within 3 minutes, 2
Yeah.
tries. That is possible.
it's very possible.
And again, how we mentioned earlier, you get the ball back once you do score. So let's see what OSU can do. They want to stack more points up.
Yeah, I mean, this is the point where you just kind of put your foot on their throat and press down, try to take all the momentum.
It looks like Bernard is staying into play, so that's great. That's great to see. And he's leading the pack on this, and he's going to make the tackle. And he's
Yeah.
coming in and making
Honestly-
the tackle. That's great. That's good to see.
Honestly, I'm not surprised. He's one of the most mentally tough people I know. Oh, lit. Yeah, it's going to be a high tackle.
over that shoulder, around the neck area.
So they're going to go back 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's the reason why it is a dangerous tackle. And we may see a card.
I
We
think we're
may
going to see a card
due to
because he's
that.
down. I think
And
that.
And again, Tim, I mentioned earlier the high tackles. You shouldn't really be trying to get that shoulder at the armpit area. That shoulder should be down at the gut, rib, thigh, hip area. That's where you want to definitely get down and make that correct tackle.
Yeah, it's a safer. Not only is it a safer tackle, but it's also
All around.
it's a more effective tackle.
All around, yes, all around it's a safe tackle. I think even being hit by one of those kind of tackles is more exhausting than painful, I think. Because I've been hit that way, and when I hit the floor, it's not much of the pressure of the hit. It's more of me hitting the ground, and getting back up. That's where the exhaustion comes into play. But good tackling, I think I'm gonna preach good tackling from that gut area to that hip area should be a nice sweet spot.
So it looks like yellow carded high tackle.
Yeah, that is the OSU player, right?
And a pass out to the wing.
He's got some speed on
He's
him.
got speed, yes, he does. But Trevor coming in, and they're going to push him out.
They're going to get him out.
And that will be Western Oregon ball. And you can just see the exhaustion in them right now. They've been playing a full, almost 80 minutes now, and they're
Yeah,
just...
That's a good view right there. And you see number 13 from OSU. I can't strain enough this rugby culture now. They will be playing ball. When ball's in play, man, you are bashing at each other.
Yep.
You are ripping at each other. But when that ball is dead, it's crazy just how the tempo just changes.
And it's going to go... It was a try for a pick, but goes right to Gio. He's going to take
keep
it out to
running.
the center of the field. Running with it well. That's one thing Gio does well is he can run with the ball well. He has good field vision.
Secures the ball really well.
He does. And Keegan coming in off that counter ruck.
It's
keeping
always-
the ball for Western Oregon.
It's lovely to
Shoving
see
him
him
off.
run.
What a great... I mean... Great plays by Western Oregon right now. It's going to come out to Drew on the side. He's going to pitch it out to Brian, who gets it over to Jack.
You need to stay in.
He does need to stay in bounds, and I think he does. They're going to call offsides on Oregon State. It looks like Keegan's down with a little bit of a cramp here.
Oh, yeah. Those are very painful.
Yeah.
Those are just a little painful, but he's been putting a lot of work in.
Mm-hmm. You got to drink some more water. Get some potassium.
I didn't see no mustard packs out there.
I know. I remember we used to do that. And it worked. I mean, it might have only been a placebo effect, but it worked.
Whatever effect it did, it did.
Whatever. Hey, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how it works as long as it does work.
Mind over matter.
Exactly.
I don't mind. It don't matter.
But yeah, they're going to start running off the clock here.
Yes. And again, it's a friendly. There's no urgency here.
No.
Western will have the ball, so that's going to be great to see. Hopefully they can set something up and get a score here.
Yeah, we just got to get the game going.
Yeah, and keeping Keegan in play would be very helpful if he can go ahead and get that.
He's hurting a little bit, but I think he'll be all right. Walking a little funny there. And they're going to sub in Levy for Keegan. I think that'll be the end of the day for Keegan. With a couple of great runs and assists and a try, I mean, that's a day I'd hang my hat on.
He's tumbling. There you go.
Jeez.
Rumbling.
I think I'm seeing an entirely different Taylor than I've seen in the past, and I love it. I think it's because it's his last year.
Yeah.
He realizes it.
Yeah. It's a tough one when it's your last year.
It
Tim.
is.
It definitely is. I believe it should be because he didn't release it or put it back. All right, no one goes for the ball. That's not.
And Ryland taking advantage of it, and he fires up. Here's a kick. Oh, missed. Picked up by Western Oregon.
We're starting to see some passes.
It's going to be...
Oh, it's going to be a penalty.
Yep.
But you're starting to see some passes really eat up some air and get some air underneath it.
Trying to space out that field. Use every bit of it.
We go B is doing
Good
his
run
thing.
by B. And then Gio's going to get it.
Ooh.
Go to Thomas.
Thomas, it's good to see Thomas back in.
Yep. Looks like Oregon State wasn't rolling away there, so they had to let go of that. It's going to come over to Levy. He's going to take it. Get it over to Marco. Can't. Oh.
Did he just step out?
That's a forward pass.
Oh.
Offsides, though. So it's going to be Western Oregon's ball again.
Marco just had some speed on there. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That was some good legs. I haven't really seen him play lately.
Yeah,
Is this his first game, Tim?
This is his first game. I haven't seen him much at practice either. I haven't been able to get out to practice, but I mean, I see a bright future for him in rugby, especially here at Western Oregon.
Yeah, especially out there in that wing position, huh?
And it looks like Oregon State with a good poach
poach.
there. Ball's loose.
Ball's loose and it's out.
Oh!
Number 9.
Their scrummy squeaks through. Can Ryland get there in time? I don't think he can. That's going to be another try for Oregon State.
That's too bad. That shouldn't really happen there. That's something definitely Western's defense should pick up quite easily.
That is a very costly mistake.
Yes. Establishing that, as we called it, that PAL defense would have definitely helped there.
Establishing that line, he just squeaked through the line there and was able to go in for the try. And that is a good conversion.
It's getting away from them now, Tim.
That is a little bit. But
we're going to be down to the last 5 minutes here.
Yep. And if I know anything, it's these boys aren't going to give up. Down by a lot, don't matter. Sean preaches you always play like you're down 5 points. You're always going for that try. No matter if you're up by 50 or you're down by 50. Always, in your mind, you're always down by 5 points.
You always play like you're down, exactly. Oh, it could. Here's a good kick. Oh,
it's a great kick with a great bounce. It's going to come to Levy.
It might be a knock-on. Yes, it was. Knock. I think that was Levi with the knock.
Mm-hmm. And Taylor cramping up himself in the center of the field. Oh.
Yeah, number 4 of our team is injured.
Yeah, it looks like Taylor's going to
have to step off the field.
It'd probably most likely be an end of the day for Taylor there.
Mm-hmm.
Good game, though. He had quite a few good runs. And the ball is out.
Go crossover. A great run by Oregon State's number 13. He's going to dish it out to his back line. Offsides on Western Oregon. They had a really, really big problem with this last season. Advantage for a high tackle here.
You got to get low. That's what I mentioned. And they got numbers to the right side.
They got numbers to the corner. Did he get it? He did get it down. Oh, and that's... looks like Rylan who's down right now, or Jack. Jack took a knock to the skull on that run. He looks a little shaken up about it. But looks like he's getting up under his own power. So that's a good sign. But with 2.5 minutes left, it is 47 to 22, Oregon State.
Now, since this is a friendly, we do got the sir out there having a good time. He's going to try to
I guess he's going to try to go for it.
And
just a bit outside.
Yeah. There's a sir having some fun out there. And he's called the ball game.
That will be the game.
He has called it, and that is done. It most likely has to do with injuries and scoring and injuries and things of that matter.
Yeah.
It's always about keeping it safe. And, again, it's the sir. No one will question the sir, especially about things like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's a tough loss. You know, that's a tough one to swallow. But, I mean, you know, it's a friendly match for both teams. It was a great learning experience. It sucks to see your teammates go down, and especially with all the injuries we had last season and then this fall. And then again today, a couple of them. It's always tough to watch, but, you know, they're out there having fun, doing what they love. And, you know, Western Oregon played a hard game. Oregon State played a hard game. And
here we go. We're just going to show a little bit of rugby culture after a good, hard game. There is definitely that respect there for both teams and greeting each other as the game is over.
But I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Come check us out next time.
If there is any Western Oregon students that feel that they have the need for to play some ball, you're definitely welcome to come out to the fields. We're out here on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Come out and visit us and just get a look at the game.
And with that, Thank you for watching, and have a good night.